again. It's your favorite person in the world. Just kidding. It's your favorite duo in the world.
Ah,
Plus 10 Melanin. Why am I so excited? I think I'm just excited about today's content. Hi, it's Crystal, and
it's me, Makita, the Grim Phreaker. Hi.
wow, you see, I'm so upbeat, and you're just like, you come in like the villain, like it's me, Makita.
Yeah.
It's like Pinky in the Brain,
Yeah,
which I
I'm
love that
chill.
show.
Yeah, that show was awesome. I actually, well, we might get sidetracked, but that's cool.
I know.
Like, I was just watching some older cartoons. I was watching Pepper Ann, and then um, Pinky and the Brain, and then Recess, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, these were the days. These were the good
Ugh,
cartoons.
weren't they? Yep. So before we do get sidetracked, because I was about to go into Looney Tunes and all that, uh, what's going on? What are you playing?
I am playing Fallout 4 still. Um,
Good.
yeah, update on that. I lost Nick. I don't know where he is.
You still haven't found him?
I still haven't found him.
No.
I sent him from the ship at the Brotherhood of Steel. You know, we do like the intro and they promote you to a knight.
Hmm.
And oops, sorry, spoiler. Anyway, um so that happens and I switched companions and it's been so many days now. You know what? I'm going to go back today to Sunshine Co-op and see if he's still not there because I went on there and then I built a bell to bring everybody to the middle of Sunshine Co-op
Yeah,
and
and he wasn't
nobody was
there.
there. Yeah, he wasn't
Maybe you
there.
should go to each settlement and build a bell and ring it
That's what I'm thinking
and
about
see if he
doing.
goes there. That's one thing I was really glad that I play on PC for because that's happened to me. I lost dog meat actually, and I could not find him. I didn't know
Wow.
where I lost him. I don't know if I outran him or if he got killed or if like fast traveled and it glitched. But I ended up doing the console command and it just like brought him to me. I don't know where he was, but yeah, I'd be really frustrated on console if that were the case.
Yeah, so I went ahead. My friend was like, "Look, why don't you could get the Vault Tech add-on." And she was like, "The DLC is honestly it's very booty, but one thing that comes with it is that you can track your companions." I have not tried it yet because I forgot that I actually downloaded it. And I will be testing it today. I don't know like how to open the add-on. I don't even know how to do the Vault Tech thing. Like I guess that's supposed to be like the mobile game, the mobile version of Fallout Shelter. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't.
you did play that with me. Fallout
Yeah.
Shelter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did play Fallout Shelter. I don't know about the whole other part of it, like the in-game part, since they added like a version of that in the actual game. I haven't touched that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was the name of the name of the DLC is Vault Tech, but I guess it's supposed to be a console version of the mobile game or whatever. But I just bought it because I wanted to have it so I can track the companion.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, I didn't know. I got it in the season pass, so I didn't realize that like all that was in there. Okay, go on.
Whoopsie. Um, and what else am I doing on there? I'm just like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do now. Oh, so I tried to be slick, and in broad daylight, I tried to break in somebody's house in the middle of Diamond City.
eh,
Uh,
eh,
I don't know
eh.
what made me do it. I never like when I've as long as I've been playing this game, if there's something that like stolen in a store or in somebody's house, I don't steal it. I never choose to steal it. At all these small ass places, I never choose to steal it. And then I said to myself, the alleyway is clear. I will try to break into this guy's house. Well, somebody came swinging around the corner as soon as I started doing it, and I was about to open the door because it was like a novice lock.
Yeah.
And like, hey, and I feel like bullets hitting me. I lasted the fight itself before I committed suicide because it was just taking too long. Um, and then I thought, like, if I come back to Diamond City, nobody's going to want to help me. They're going to want to kill me because I stole from, I was stealing from somebody. Um, I fought off the city for like a good 10 minutes. And I think I killed like three people, three important people. Like there was like a doctor in the town. I don't know if they were like clinic specialists or whatever.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, but like I killed everybody and then I started over from an old save because I'm not about
See
that
that?
life.
Power corrupts. You're like,
Yeah.
I can. You didn't stop to think about if I should.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Pretty
do that
much.
though. I'll like make a separate row, just just in case I accidentally save over it, and I'll just do all the terrible stuff that I'm not.
Yeah.
See
That's
how much I can get away with.
yeah. That's pretty much what I've been trying not to do. And I guess
Humans. Humans.
I got possessed. I got possessed real fast. I just said, let me try it. And I got caught on my first go. Is there like a perk I can do, like a stealth type of perk? That'd be really nice. I should use a stealth boy. That's what I
Yes,
should
it's
use.
in it is in it's funny because I have the game open right now on my other screen. Um it is under perception, I think. I forget
Hmm.
which one of the traits it is. If you go down the tree when you level up and you get to like put a point in something, you get ones about like, you're easier or harder to detect when sneaking, blah blah blah, and then you can like yeah. So oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, get ideas.
Yeah. That is actually a good idea. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you been playing?
Same thing. I've been playing Fallout. I went back to Skyrim because, like I said before, I'm still on the whole kick of getting ready for the remastered version to be released. Still holding out hope for a settlement system, but I haven't heard anything. So unless they're keeping it a secret, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Wow.
Which is probably good because you'd never see me again. Um, so I've been playing that. I actually stopped playing Fallout Shelter on my phone. I maxed out my vault, and I
You're
just
just now? Wait.
wait. I stopped now.
Wow.
Because I was like expanding slowly. I was separating my male and female vault dwellers so that they could stop making babies because I was expanding way too fast and I couldn't feed everybody.
Right.
So yeah, that happened and I maxed it and I was like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. So I'm not playing anything on my phone right now, which is pretty interesting because I'm usually playing at least one mobile game just to pass the time. And I also haven't touched my DS in a while, so this is becoming more of a "what are you not playing" type segment.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think like I get in moods where I'm in the mood to play a game or a certain genre, and if there's nothing out right now that's like fitting that, I don't really feel like playing other things.
I get that because like the same thing happened with my DS. Well, it was like a snowball of events, and I have two 3DSs. One is the XL, one is the regular size. I've been using the XL one because the biggest screen, bigger is better. And
Yeah.
the thumb pad broke off, and I wasn't able to
Uh,
fix it. So, um, I had another. I was like, oh, let me play Monster Hunter on my thing, and I'll just transfer the SD card. Well, I didn't know that you actually have to transfer the account, the whole account. Otherwise, you can't use that save. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
you can't just
yeah.
transfer it over and have it. Like, I don't know what their reasoning is for that, but um, I had to start a whole new game on there because I transferred the SD card thinking that, oh, the games that I bought on this system, um, I can play at any time by just switching the SD card, but that wasn't the case. You need to have an account in there, and on that particular DS, I have a separate account. I had like other games because I had that one first, but yeah, so that was like an inconvenience for me. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, in the mood to play a game. So I was in the mood to play
Yes.
Monster Hunter, and then I guess maybe I got out of the mood of it because it's one of those. I love the game. I always have loved the game, but it's one of those games that you just kind of like you fall in love with it for a little while. You put it down for a bit, and then you pick it back up later.
Yeah.
And then I bought what's the name? something rights, birthrights, but it's
Hmm.
something, Ursula talks about it all the time. Ursula's my friend.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
Fire Emblem. There you go. Fire Emblem Birthrights. I bought that and I opened it and it has not even reached the insides of my 3DS. Like, I just have to be in the mood
that's
to
how I
play
am.
these
Like people are
games.
like, "Oh, let's play this game," and I'm like, "But I don't feel like it today." And they're like, "What? No, you
Yeah,
don't understand." Like, I'm glad that that happens to other people. I thought I was just weird, but that's good.
yeah. Like,
Yay.
mobile games and stuff. I think I downloaded some hacker game the other day and I was like really about it for like a week and now I'm
Yeah.
just like, bleh. So,
It's
whatever.
great how that happens.
Yeah. All right. So on to gaming news. So originally I put an itinerary that, with excitement that we're going to be able to play PS4 controllers on Steam soon. Apparently they have been doing that for a while now, and this news was because they wanted to expand, um, I guess the features of using a PlayStation 4 gamepad. Right now, like I said, you're able to use the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller, but it's this new update is supposed to allow you to tailor the functions of the PS4 touchpad, and you can use the gyro features in some games. So that is gonna bring like a whole nother level because I have two controllers, two PS4 controllers, and I'm only one person here, so I could just use one controller for my computer and one controller for my PS4. So
Huh.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not in the console scene right now, but that is pretty. It's pretty neat. That's for
That's another
Steam.
reason for you to. That's another reason for you to get a
Hmm.
PS4. Now, if I had have known this, I wouldn't have spent that like $20 or $25. I forgot how much I spent on an Xbox controller because the Xbox controller you've been able to use on the computer for a while now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I get it because Xbox, PC, Microsoft, all that. So I pretty much expected it.
Right.
So I don't judge too hard for this now becoming a thing, but it is nice. It's convenient. It's about time. It is about time.
Right. So remember last week when I had that freaking rant about how GameStop didn't have any PSVRs.
Yes.
So, I said to myself, I'm going to be an adult and I'm going to put down on my credit card because that is what adults do. And maybe that's the reason. Maybe this is the reason why I need to not spend $400 on a PSVR headset. I need to be an adult. This is me convincing myself. So, I'm putting together the news stories for the show and I see Amazon will have PSVR available tonight at launch for people who didn't pre-order. So I said to myself, nah, can't be this can't be real because I was just complaining to Crystal about GameStop and Amazon not having anything, and I had just 5 minutes before pressed confirm by using that $400 to pay off my credit card.
Womp
Yeah, I was
womp.
like, wow, okay, cool. At least it's just Amazon. It's just Amazon. And then I read further into the story, and apparently GameStop made an announcement, probably after the millions and millions of complaints.
Yeah.
Um, hey, you guys, we're gonna get like some extra headsets for you to order online and in the store, and we will have it by midnight launch. I wanted to scream.
I can
Scream.
imagine. I can imagine.
Scream my head my head hurt. I had to like take like a 15-minute nap because I just said,
Oh.
bruh, I just pressed confirm like 5 minutes before I saw that story. I don't know how this is gonna work out because my friend's like, well, why don't you just buy it with the money on your credit card? And I'm like, no, that's making it's going back to taking back one step. if I add the $400 that I put on the credit card, it puts me back as in before, and I'm still out of an extra $40.
But, but,
Don't do this.
but, listen, listen. I won't do it.
Okay, yeah,
I'll let everyone else convince you. I won't take the fall for this. Somebody else will.
If there was a camera there, you should have seen how close I got to the screen. Like, you know how you like lean in when somebody's about to tell you something? I'm like,
yep.
What? I'm ready to take it. Oh, okay, good. You're looking out for me. See, you're a good friend. Overwatch.
Overwatch, yes.
I haven't touched that in a while. Like, I haven't touched it since No Man's Sky.
Can people like chill in Overwatch? Can they chill for a little bit?
They are going really hard. So there's two things that's going on with Overwatch fans. Like, y'all are really ODing right now. This is a little bit more of a troll thing, true troll thing, where now there's this Halloween themed seasonal event, and it was launched I think a couple of days ago, where you get to have suits and items and such to match up like you would in a regular loot box, but only they would be Halloween themed. There's an emote for the characters. What was it? No, for Anna, and because she's kind of like an old lady, they call it Grandma Candy, and it's a Grandma Candy emote, and basically you're holding a pumpkin. One of those pumpkin candy holder thingies, and you take out a bunch of candy and you throw it on the floor like you're throwing it at the dead bodies that you kill. And it's very similar to when people play The Division, and when people want to make fun of you, like if you tried them and they killed you, they go over your dead body and they like clap, like good job, asswipe.
Yeah.
People are there are a few salty people. I won't say everybody.
That's harmless though.
Yeah, it's harmless. It's definitely harmless. But there's always gonna be sore losers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be some extreme sore losers. So it's whatever. Taking it to another level.
Yes. There's
this character. You know what? Can you talk to me more about like Sombra, because you know more about this than me, because I don't know who the fuck Sombra is.
Neither do I really. There's not a whole lot about this character other than it's a upcoming or rumored new character, and like the character stories in Overwatch are pretty significant. Like they're pretty fairly developed. So, a lot of people are into like the whole lore and the story in the background. People really want to know about this character. But there isn't a whole lot. So I haven't been paying too much attention because honestly I figure people like the ones we're about to talk about are going to, pull up the information from wherever and end up releasing it and, telling people about it anyway. So, yeah, I don't know too much about her, but apparently people really, really want to know, like, right now. And so we're getting into how they've socially engineered their way into somebody's account because they thought that... What? Okay, you go, because it's just ridiculous.
I like that you use socially engineered. That's hilarious. That's awesome. These are some of the biggest fan bases that I've ever seen. Like, I'm usually pretty hyped about certain things, but there are some hardcore fans that want to find out so badly. They just I don't get it. I love the element of surprise for a character.
Right. Like, I'm curious, but like it's not that serious.
It's not. It really isn't. I will just wait for the news, but people are just so pressed to find out what the hell is going on, that they're actually hacking in other people's computers. I'm talking about like, just like digging into whoever's and okay, oh, so you're not Sombra. You're not Sombra. You're not Sombra. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I just know that it's not right, and y'all need to get a grip. Let me see.
I can't.
Yeah, this hint. Oh my God, I'm reading hint from the story because I'm like, what the fuck? There's a quote where he says, not while not immediately visible under the close scrutiny of the Sombra hunters, the screenshot, which was of the World of Warcraft login screen, had someone's email address typed into the login box. Assuming this email was part of the ARG, people began to research the real name that was in the email address as well as the email itself. And the ARG fans, like, they emailed the account, they tried to gain access to it. I
need to calm down.
Yeah, I guess because the character itself is kind of like a hacker. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that attracted other hackers. I don't know. Like, maybe this was their nod to Sombra. It's very odd. It's very odd, and
It's just a lot of effort for something that's like, we're really into games, we're really into our hobbies, but there's a line to be drawn where it's just not. I don't know. Actually, yes, I do. It's ridiculous. I'm just gonna say it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like, Blizzard, the people over at Blizzard, very, like, literally, the game director said we had nothing to do with that. Like, like, it's not necessary, you guys. Like, whatever happened to just, like, having fun and the excitement of waiting to find out about information so that you could talk about it with your friends? Like, now this is endangering other people's information. Like, let it go.
It's super important. I know right now.
Right. Yeah. Speaking about people with a lot of time on their hands. So there's this guy who obviously not only has endless amounts of time, he has endless amounts of money, or so it would compare to my banking account. And there's EVE Online. Now, EVE Online, I don't really know much about it. I know that there are a lot of people that become obsessed with that game, kind of like World of Warcraft. And
they take it very seriously. A guy I dated back in the day played it, and yeah, like, they take it like job serious. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's like,
it's cool, but it's just like, yeah, it's very fascinating to watch. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, it's been, I guess in this game, I guess you can build, like, communities or factions or whatever, and attack other factions. And so this guy, his Reddit username is Holder2K. So some faction, I guess they call it from their Homestar system, some faction called Hard Knocks Inc. I can't talk this morning, apparently. Hard Knocks Inc. They took him for his settlement, like, they destroyed it, and he got really, really salty. So he said, I have $75,000 for the eviction of Hard Knocks Incorporated. He, like, quite literally put a bounty on this faction, and people are going wild, of course.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's
I love it.
So but I love it when people call women petty, because this is
right.
This whole thing came to be from a series of chat logs, and one was mad. So it was between a member of the Hard Knocks Incorporated called Noob Man and another player called He Who Shall Not Be Named. And He Who Shall Not Be Named was banned from the community.
Nerds.
Right. And so He Who Shall Not Be Named gave Noob Man his contact information so that they could talk about things. This is a game that, like, I want to talk in real life. I want to get back into the faction. I want to get back into Hard Knocks. I want to know why you kicked me. I think it's unfair. I'm giving you my real life information for a game. Okay, sure, whatever.
All right.
So, Noob Man says that, or the way this is worded, it says the latter was banned, that's He Who Shall Not Be Named, from the Hard Knocks public channel. and gave Newtman his contact information so they could sort the matter out, later alleging that his phone number was distributed to other Hard Knocks members who then called to harass him. So this guy, who shall not be named, says that number was a work number for the large global bank where I'm international legal counsel. The bank has now turned it over to the federal authorities to investigate. So now federal authorities is into this. They're connected to this chat log between two adults.
Quote unquote adults.
Yeah, quote unquote adults. Discussing why he was banned from public chat. So there was this again petty squabble, and then like some threats of legal action had already like broken the community, that is broken that bond that was there. And so basically what Hard Knocks, it's basically what Hard Knocks said is, well, fuck you and your $75,000, haha, nana boo boo, and evicted his whole corporation from the area. Because like at the end of the day, you're still not playing with us, bruh. So what you doing?
Right.
What you doing? So yeah, I don't understand like what the hell is going on with you guys. Like, I've been pretty serious about some games, but $75,000 and threatening legal action and all this other stuff, it's...
And the feds involved, because, like, what? What is going on?
How is this helping me in real life? But, okay, you know what? Not my life. Not going to complain about it.
It's almost like those dystopian films and books and plots about people, seriously living out their entire life in a digital world is really coming true. It's like people are investing this much in something virtual. It's almost like that is their reality, and outside is just a simulation they keep going so that they can live. It's really scary. I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Do your thing. But, man, I'm just thinking about all the things I could do with $75,000 right now. And...
You'd never see me again.
Yeah, I would still work, but I'd take, like, a nice vacay. I'd pay off all my bills. I'd pay off my student loans. And I would still have money left over. Yeah. That'd be really great. He should have gave me that $75,000. I would have learned how to do whatever I could. I would learn that game so fast. You don't even know.
Real. If that's the kind of money that can be made off, like, just, hey, can you wipe out this fleet of blah, blah, blah? Okay.
In game, where I don't have to lose my life.
Exactly. Like, no repercussions, nothing bad happens to you. What? Sign me up.
Right? Shit. Anyway. So, alright. Do you like Mass Effect?
I haven't played it, which, usually gets me yelled at, but I don't not like it. I have them. I bought them in a Steam sale, but it's just one of those games where I bought a whole bunch in a Steam sale, but I haven't gotten around to actually playing, which I feel like is common, too.
Because you kind of forgot you had it, probably.
Yeah, like, I have, like, 80-something games in my Steam library. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, I know of it, and it looks good. I am a fan. I'd like to play it soon, one day.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And, people are just kind of like, so when are we going to get this release date? Because I need to be saving my money. I need to take off from work.
Right.
And they've been pretty mum about it until they put up, let me see, I think it's on Amazon. It's always fucking Amazon where you discover, like, these secrets and stuff. So they have an art book, a beautiful, beautiful art book that I actually plan on getting that obviously is related to Mass Effect Andromeda. And the release date for the book says March 21st, 2017. And
wow.
as part of its description notes, it says it will release simultaneously with the game. Yeah.
Somebody messed up, because I feel like they did not plan on people finding out that way.
Yeah.
Somebody boo-booed.
Yeah, that's really observant because I probably would not have caught that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm
good
pretty
job.
sure they did not intend for it to happen that way.
Yeah,
Oh
good
man.
freaking job. I forgot what it was. What what did Amazon? I think there was another gaming item that Amazon put the date on by mistake. It could have been the PSVR headset, maybe. I don't know. We'll
Quote
see.
unquote by mistake.
Yeah, but exactly. I think what happens is I think it's one of two possibilities. Somebody really did mess up with that, but then sometimes you need a little
Just
more
like, all right, we'll roll
traffic.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, need a little more traffic. I mean, Amazon gets a shitload of traffic, but some more would be great because it would keep Amazon's name in people's mouths. So
Right.
who knows? For those of you that do care, um, Aladdin got okay. So Aladdin's getting a live action movie, and Guy Ritchie wants to direct that live action Aladdin movie. I would prefer that they leave my childhood alone.
Me too.
Hmm.
I'm glad. I'm glad because I was like, I don't know. Just stop. Just don't. And I really don't want them trying to do any kind of portrayal about any kind of plot that takes place in another country and, have it filled with horrible stereotypes and bronzed white actors and things like
Hmm.
not. That's the first thing that came to mind, honestly, was like a Gods of Egypt type situation. I was like, can you just not touch Aladdin? That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be
Just do
awesome.
something else.
Yeah,
Just stop.
just come up with new ideas. There's got to be some new ideas somewhere in there. Like I don't get it. I really don't freaking get it.
Swimming
Um,
around in the minds of people of color who aren't being given opportunities to.
right, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking
Yep.
forward to because I'm sure that's going to happen. What he says sets this apart is it's not really just a live action of the animated version. It's supposed to they're supposed to produce a like non-linear movie, and it's supposed to be in Guy Ritchie's quote unquote signature style.
Sure, Chip.
Yeah, I want you guys to leave my shit alone. I thought it was a joke when they said that there's gonna be like a live action Lion King, and I was like, I have no idea how that's going to work, but okay. And then Mulan, which I was hearing they're trying to cast as well, they were trying to cast a white member that was I want to feel like people were like, "Oh, put Scarlett Johansson in the role of Mulan." I don't know, but it was like,
She just our go-to for casting Asian women.
yeah,
God,
that seems to be the case. That seems to be the case.
she's not even.
She doesn't
Anyway,
even, yeah. So, um, this is just really a bit much for me. I don't even think I'm gonna try and go see it. Like I would maybe give it a chance, perhaps if they did stick to the straight from animation to flesh. It would be cool to kind of see who would take up the genie's role, especially since Robin Williams has really big shoes to fill because he was basically the life of
yeah.
Aladdin. So I don't know, whatever. I don't really care about that, but I thought that'd be something else that you guys should look out for. That really should, and who they're casting because white people are habitual line steppers, and they seem to like never learn that you can't just replace people of color with white people and then be like, okay, so you are African, or okay, you are Arab, okay, you are Asian. That's not how it works, and then turn around and tell us that we can't play any parts that we want. So
Right. Well, I have a very strong feeling that this topic will be coming up again. Yeah, because I feel like it's gonna be a train wreck. Maybe I'm being a pessimist, but you know what? At this, the evidence pretty much supports that. So,
yeah. So this week has been kind of trying as far as deaths are concerned, especially with uh oh man, how did I forget his name that fast? His name is, he plays Tommy on Martin.
I didn't watch Martin, so I don't remember
Oh, I
that. I see his
forgot.
face. I
Oh,
see his face. Everyone knows who we're talking about. We'll use this to
yeah.
challenge the audience. You guys pay attention to what goes on in the media? Yeah, here you go. Here's your test.
Yeah,
That guy.
he's he passed away yesterday, and it's just so odd because he went in for knee surgery,
Yeah.
and he ended up with a stomach aneurysm and passed away. But I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Ghibli? Is it
Oh, the
Studio?
studio?
Yeah,
Ghibli?
Ghibli. Okay, I'm just making sure
Yeah.
because like I've never heard it out loud before.
Right. Yeah, I actually had to like watch a thing on it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you say it.
Right. The color designer Michio Yasuda, she died at the age of
So depressing.
77.
So depressing.
Yeah. So she worked on, what was it? She was a color designer on Miyazaki's 1976 television series called 3000 Leagues in Search of Mother. I've never watched that, but I kind of want to watch it now.
Too. I'm like,
And
what is this? I've seen almost everything from them, and I'm like, wait, I haven't seen that.
yeah, so she's a talent that all of us are going to miss. Even though I didn't really know of her work, really, like I don't really think about, oh, who's doing the coloring. I don't know if it's
Right.
like something that I should develop on, but I'm not really an artist like that. I just appreciate the beauty and I kind of keep it moving. But clearly she was obviously very talented and she kept my attention with the beautiful backgrounds and such. Well, beautiful everything because she does the colors, but this is truly a loss. And, you know,
Yep.
I don't know. Like, I just
It's
feel
like a
like
loss of
we're
talent.
losing.
Yeah, like this year is taking. 2016 is just taking. And that especially makes me sad because it's like, we grew up, a lot of us, watching stuff like that, or at least in our teenage years when we, became obsessed with anime, and it's like, oh man, not ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really good with dealing with death. So it's just kind of like, I don't know what to say. I'm sad about it, but I just don't know how to really express it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Eh.
what it is. But she lived a pretty good life. 77 is not a bad age to
No, not at all.
move along. So it is what it is. And I send my condolences. We send our condolences to
Yes.
her family. So, white people are afraid of everything, or rather, they want to make everything about them. United Airlines, this a passenger, her name is Amanda Stevens. She was going to like this League of Legends esport event to report on it, and she wore an ASAP Rocky shirt that has an upside down flag, and she was spoken to by the flight attendants and compromised with them, and I believe turned her shirt inside out. I guess, yeah. So there's like this secret dress code that I just learned about this weekend, that you can't
Right?
you can't wear whatever the fuck you want. Um, and then she wrote a series of tweets. She's like, "Dear at United, this shirt shouldn't make your pilot uncomfortable enough to warrant having me spoken to and told to take it off. He didn't seem that bothered to give me a smug look when he walked past me to the bathroom. Now I am being told that I cannot wear my hat at United. This is unreal and fucking racist." So in the picture, you see her you can tell that the shirt is actually inside out.
Yeah.
She turned it inside out. She tried to cooperate and then was told to take off her Black Panther hat. I am fully vested in the thought that the pilot thought that he was wearing that hat because of the Black organization, which is also
Right.
named the Black Panthers. However, because of people's ignorance, they would know that Black Panthers are not a terrorist organization. They were just created to defend black folk from white folk that felt like they could just kill black people at will. So the pilot is like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable after the Black
No,
Panther
you
hat.
don't.
Yeah, after the Black Panther hat was pointed out to Amanda to take it off, she was kicked off the flight. So United responds back to her, and they're like, Amanda, could you please DM your confirmation number and mileage plus information? And then there was an update because they couldn't reach them. And let me see. This is
It's a mess.
Stevens then told me that the exchange with the flight attendant was given as the reason that she was ejected from the flight. Stevens says that she received a direct message from the official United account on Twitter and returned to the service counter at the gate under the assumption that she'd be getting booked on the next flight. However, the United employees that Steven was dealing with retreated to an employees-only area, and Stevens told me that she'd been waiting with no acknowledgement for more than 2 hours. We've reached out to United for comment, and we'll update if they reply. Well, they replied all right. They replied. So they sent United. You know what's funny about this article? They have the picture of the airplane upside down, as in flying. Like, what?
I saw that and I laughed. I was like, I see what you did there.
Right. So IO9 Gizmodo basically sent them an email, and it had the link to the story and everything with all the information. And the response that they got back from United was, we have reached out to Miss Campos to discuss her concerns. Our goal is to provide safe and comfortable travel for all our customers, and we regret that Miss Campos was unhappy with the handling of the seats assignments on her flight. United holds our employees to the highest standards of professionalism and has zero tolerance for discrimination. There's only one thing. Who the hell is Miss Campos?
See.
Who is Miss Campos?
See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm speechless because the woman's name is Miss Stevens, and there's like no confusion there. Like, I would think maybe like Stephanos.
Right.
I don't even know what else, because Stevens is
We're
such
trying
an
really
easy,
hard to make sense of something that does not make sense.
Yeah, Stevens is a really easy name to remember, but then to get it off so far back, like that's almost at the beginning of the alphabet, and say Miss Campos is just...
So that raises a lot of questions for me. Are they dealing with another terrible situation with an individual named Miss Campos, and they got it confused and they don't remember who they're apologizing for mistreating? Or like what is going on? Like that had to come from somewhere. Like, I know it makes no sense, but it had to come from somewhere. So what are you dealing with right now? What's going on, sir or ma'am who answered that message?
Right. So of course you're right, and this statement was addressing another situation that happened 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks prior. So that means that United is a repeat offender, a repeat offender in the realm of discrimination.
It's lovely. It's amazing.
The person who, the writer from Gizmodo was like, yeah, we sent them a link with today's story about Amanda Stevens, and they sent us a reply about another event. And then the update back from the hey, this isn't about Miss Campos. We are talking about another person, Miss Stevens. They wrote a nice little like short snippet that said, we are in contact with Miss Stevens to discuss this matter further. Both United and SkyWest hold our employees to the highest standards of professionalism and have zero tolerance for discrimination.
That template, though.
Yes.
Wow. Are they even
Wow.
trying? Are they?
No. No.
Like,
And why would they? Because it's clear
why
they
are you
don't
doing this?
care. Why?
And, like, that's just ridiculous. And for me, it's a bit humorous to know that they may have been able to cover up whatever other thing that they were dealing with, but because they were so careless in their response and using cookie cutter responses instead of taking things seriously, they pretty much expose themselves as currently dealing with multiple instances of, you know, discrimination. Well, good job. That worked out great.
Yes. Yeah. See, here's my thing. If I were Amanda, girl, listen, I'd have the names of everybody involved in that situation.
Right.
And I would sue them. And I would sue the company. I would definitely sue the pilot for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was just malicious. He knew. There's no way you're going to see that with everything that goes on in the media, how, comics and things like that are mainstream. There's nothing. First of all, it's freedom of speech, so it doesn't matter. But even so, there's no reason it gets too confused. He knew. I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, yeah. So, United, I'm absolutely sure that you will be getting some type of subpoena very, very soon, because I know that I would, and you would be giving me money, and you would be giving me free rides for the rest of my life. That's what you would be doing, because you play
Pretty
too fucking
much.
much. Okay. So, again, habitual line stepping.
Yep.
We have to get to this, because all right, our buddy Tanya that came on the show One Cipher, she posted this article, and it's about Mafia 3, which I've been really excited about. Everybody's been pretty hyped because we're like, yeah, we get to kill the KKK. There's like a black protagonist, and it's just it a game that really interests me, even though I had not an ounce bit of interest
Right.
for the Mafia series period before. And over the weekend, I saw a couple people posting a screenshot that opened Mafia 3, and it says Mafia 3 takes place in a fictionalized version of the American South in 1968. We sought to create an authentic and immersive experience that captures this very turbulent time and place, including depictions of racism. We find the racist beliefs, language, and behaviors of some characters in the game abhorrent, but believe it is vital to include these depictions in order to tell Lincoln Clay's story. So, in so many words, trigger warning.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. Even though I knew what I was getting into,
Right.
I appreciated them addressing that there's going to be some very there could be some emotionally traumatizing
like, heads up, this
events.
is going to be pretty realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And they want us to know that, hey, we don't agree with this shit. We're not in alignment with this at all.
Story.
Right. But we attempted to make it as real as possible, and we want you to know that we don't participate.
We're not glorifying it. Like, it's there because it's in the story. It's not there because we're a bunch of guys that wanted the opportunity to say that and get punished, which I do appreciate that they pretty much put that out there, because that's a lot of times that's what it is. When they tackle race issues, it's a way for them to kind of act out their racism without any consequence.
Exactly. So, it's just a game.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, so I'm reading this guy's, his name is John Walker. And John Walker on Rock, Paper, Shotgun, in case you want to visit it.
Okay, I'm done being petty.
He writes this Mafia 3 review, and at first I'm like, okay, yeah, this this sounds about right. Yeah, that's cool, that's fine. But his axe, he started grinding his axe a little hard as we got through the review. And I said, okay, you know what, everybody has their quirks, because sometimes I nitpick things, but other times I do not.
Right.
and I let go some things that other reviewers do not. We all have our style. So I was surprised because I said to myself, just as I got through half of the article, I said, man, I am surprised that this white guy did not bring up the race part in this video game. And I scrolled down, and under the video,
You gone and done it.
I got the pie in my face. And first he starts off okay. He says, race in the late 1960s, southern United States is clearly not a comforting or comfortable subject. And then it just went downhill from there. So he starts off with saying that the quote from the Mafia game. He says the game offers a rather strange and seemingly paranoid opening card that concludes, "We find the racist beliefs blah blah blah." He tells he reads out what I just read to you guys, and he's like, "Oh,
that's right, because white guys hate trigger warnings."
Right, and he's like, first his excuse was, it's a really odd way to put it. And I was like, how is that odd? It's like, I didn't feel like it was odd at all. I felt that it was trying to be sensitive, and they explained why in the shortest way possible.
It was necessary.
It was
not odd at all.
It was definitely necessary. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's just one of those white dude bros that kind of just says, I don't mean to be racist. Like, I mean, I don't know what you want that to say, but he says,
I'm not racist, but
yeah. He felt it was unnecessary and paranoid.
Who asked you?
Yeah, and he made this his argument is like, oh, Lincoln Clay isn't real and the city is fictional, and he doesn't understand why they needed to say that. And at first I was gonna waste time on writing in the comment section, like why it's important, but then I realized where I'm at, and it's like white dude bro country. And I get so freaking angry with white people that write shit like this, because it's not like they stay at one level of asshole. It's like they dip, and the more they talk, like, instead of just shutting up and just saying that, hey, I'm a white guy and I don't know what this is like, and it's like it was so much of a roller coaster, this review, because he, at one point, I just kind of felt like he was sort of aware that, hey, I'm a white person and I don't know what this is like, but I'm still gonna tell y'all how to feel.
Yeah. And
it's he plays the typical white person role. He separates himself from racism instead of understanding that he participates in it unknowingly, whether he wants to or not. And he's just like, for me, being incessantly called boy or nigger feels alien, distant, far outside my own life, and I perceive it as ugly, but not particularly affecting, which is why you don't understand and you feel that it's unnecessary and paranoid for them to put this trigger warning in the beginning of the fucking game. So it's like he's self-assessing himself, and he knows why he should stay in his lane, but he's choosing not to stay in his lane. Like you just said, I don't know what it's like to be called boy or nigger, but it doesn't affect you. But I'ma still talk about this game and why it's weird for them to put this here. And I started, like, as I read the article, I started feeling like puke coming up in my mouth, and I was just like, white boy magic. Because like, y'all.
What I got the mental image of when I was reading his even know what to call it, spiel. Yeah. That reaction picture of like the white woman with like all the equations and stuff. Like, I feel like that was his brain when he was playing the game. He's just like, I don't understand. I don't know why. I know it's based off this era, but why does it have to be? Well, it makes me uncomfortable.
Right. It makes me feel some type of way. And it's like, again, he's self-assessing himself. He says that, he doesn't know what it's like, but he doesn't know why it needs to be put in here, because it's just a fake story and it shouldn't hurt anybody. But I'm like, but you just said that you don't know what it's like and it doesn't affect you, so this is why you don't know why it shouldn't. So just shut the fuck up and just play the game. Like, I feel like rock paper shotgun should have had somebody black write
Yeah.
this from a perspective, because for me, once this part once this part of the review happened, it was like everything else just like lost credibility, because I'm just like, you can do critical thinking for all this other shit, but when it comes to race, your brain just devolves and you cannot understand why these things are needed, even though you understand the history of this country. How?
Because realism hurts me.
Realism, I guess it does.
Which is very funny because we're always being told that we are too sensitive and we make a big deal out of nothing and we're social justice warriors and too PC. And it's like, but you're literally playing a game that's based off a specific time period, which we all know what that time period was like, but you're offended because it's accurate. And for the first time, you're not. See, here's the thing. In real life and in games, they have the option of being white, having the privilege and representation that goes along with it. But the first time in a game, they can't do, like, it's not like they can switch characters or they can design their characters and design them as white. They are that black man and they're getting that treatment. And
Right.
even though it's in a completely fictional environment, they're so uncomfortable. And that just goes to show, like, they tell us to deal with it, but they can't deal with it in a fictional sense. Like, this dude is shook because it's too accurate and he thinks it's unnecessary. I don't know what it's like in real life, but it makes me uncomfortable in the game, so it shouldn't be here. That's literally what he wrote. And I'm like, did you read this before you submitted it?
Yeah, of course he did, because you know what? It the thing with white people is that they will make excuses for their racism, and they I think that this self-assessment is his convincing himself that he's not being racist, or that everybody else's feelings are a little bit too high puff, you get a little bit too sensitive, and he's like above it all. Like, I would have accepted him saying, like, it didn't really offend me, but I understand why it would offend other people.
Right. Like, how
So
are you that removed that you can't understand why people whose reality reflects this character's situation might need that warning or might appreciate, okay, maybe if I'm feeling crappy or I dealt with some racism today, if they go home and they put in that game and they're hearing N-bombs all the, that can make things worse. So having that warning there is important. Like, as in so many other situations, white dude, it's not for you. And I think he just can't understand that as well.
yeah. So he goes deeper into the rabbit hole, and he says, I think it might be partly, this is him not feeling affected by boy or nigger. I think it might be partly that I've just sat and watched 13 episodes of Luke Cage and heard the N word an awful lot in doing so, and perhaps been too recently fatigued by its use. So in other words, black people, you're using the N word too much, and now because of you, I do not feel the sting of the N word.
Yes, it's our fault. Yeah, that's how that works. That's exactly how that works. Thanks for
So
clearing it up for me, white dude.
yeah, it's your fault that I don't feel anything when somebody says nigger. Not like the generations of white people that have been using that and still continue to call us nigger on a daily basis.
Doesn't bother them when they do it.
Yeah, it's
Too much.
yeah. Apparently, we set the trend for everything.
Sure did.
He goes into the, I think it might be more significantly because of the bubblegum frippery of the writing, a muddle of I've watched The Godfather, a few times Gangsta Speak and Core. Isn't it terrible how people were awfully racist condemning scripting? And I'm just like,
What?
we
Fam, you chill.
we
You're wrong, though.
we're in the 1960s. It was actually pretty awful that people were
Yeah.
racist. And because you're in the 1960s and they are being trying to be as realistic as possible, of course you're going to be constantly reminded about how racist the fucking 1960s is. You're playing a protagonist that has to go through it. So what is it that you didn't understand? Like,
You know what, honestly, also, it has to be is when we learn about racism in school, it's very, chopped and screwed and it's very passive. And I think these people actually believe that these people went about their lives, doing whatever, having a good time, and the instances of racism that they faced were sparing, like few and far in between. And that's why they think that the constant showing of, like, people using N-bombs and things like that is an exaggeration. Because they really believe this whole BS thing that we've had going, that, oh yeah, everything was fine, it was just a few racist people that would every once in a while encounter people. I'm like, no, as much as you're annoyed hearing it in the game every 2 seconds, not only was that the reality back then, it's people's reality now, based on where you live.
yeah, and I don't I don't understand it. Like, white people, here's the thing. You don't get to tell people of color how to feel. You don't get
Why?
to.
We've told you how to do everything else.
Right. You don't get to tell us how to feel. Enough is enough. Like, now you're saying, like, I don't understand how you can disassociate yourself from something that is a part of our history. And he admits that it's a part of our nation's history, but you're just like, well, it's a fake story. Like, so what? Um, Here's the thing. Like, I'm starting to really believe it, that white people aren't able to connect to characters that aren't people of color. It must be because, it's there's so many white people that connect to other white characters, and they're able to try and finagle a way for to why the person is doing what they're doing. They're able to connect to that character, like, oh, I felt like I was really caught into the story and such. And how is it that you are able to, like, not acknowledge a major part of history and cut yourself off from that?
Right.
How does that work? How are you able to just separate that? Like, you feel like you're in the story for that, but then for this character, Lincoln Clay, you're just like, well, it's just a story. Now you want to remind yourself that it's just a game, I guess, because it's inconvenient to you. And it's a constant reminder that these things are still happening. Like, this is in fact, this is one of those, like, diet racisms where you kind of just like, hey, like, yep, we know this is racism, but let's, like, not get emotional about it.
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend everything's all good.
Yeah, this wasn't needed. This is another thing where I think somebody behind the scenes creating Mafia, maybe they were just like, yo, we need to be sensitive to people of color, whether they have POC on their team or they have, like, a kind of woke white person was like, we're writing this story, but we're appealing to all kinds of people, so this may be kind of emotional, traumatic for other people.
Yeah.
They are able to do it. A whole team they're able to do that, but because they chose to be decent human beings, acknowledge the nation's history, as you so put, and think of other people's feelings other than white people, it's paranoid and unnecessary.
Wrong. Yep. Me. Pay attention to me. I'm the center of attention. That's pretty much what it is.
You are not.
And it's really disgusting because even if they can't relate to the racism, you would think that they make that human connection to, okay, I don't exactly know how this feels, but obviously it is a hurtful thing. Like, can't even relate on a human level and make the connection. And that's the really concerning thing for me. It's like, how could you not know? It doesn't matter if you don't understand. You're not going to understand. I can talk to you about what it felt like, what it feels like to have a migraine. And you can try to sympathize, but you're not going to get it because if you've never had a migraine, you just don't know what that's like.
Right. You
If I
don't.
don't have a disease that you have, I don't know what that's like. It's that simple.
Yeah, you don't get to understand by proximity. That's not how it works.
And I don't understand why, like, the default is doubt. Okay, you don't get it. So the first thing you do is say, oh no, this can't be right. No, this wasn't necessary because I don't understand it. Like, bam.
Yeah,
Bam.
it's horrible to me because it's just I all our lives, like, black people are taught to think of other people's outside of themselves, and it's part of, I think, a little bit of maybe culture and, being welcoming and trying to include everyone, but also kind of a little bit of anti-black sentiment, like, other people have to, well, especially white people, you kind of like take care of them and their feelings first.
Right.
I'm just kind of like wiped out by how you guys act. It's stressing. Like, every day it's just really horrible because I go to these video games to escape, and I want to learn about my history. Well, I mean, this isn't about my history, but I would like to play games and learn about my history at the same time. I mean, it's not a true story, but still, I just want to know what, a simulator of what it's like. And it seems like I cannot have that freedom of experiencing that without you putting your Grinch fingers in and you're saying, this offends me, this offends me. And, we talk to you guys about real life shit. Like, what offends me? People dying and in the streets being killed by cops while they're being unarmed. That really fucking bothers me. And it's like we get brushed off for that, but you want us to pay attention to your feelings when it comes to a make-believe game, just a fake ass story about why you shouldn't put trigger warnings or explain, hey, this might cause some upset feelings, because we may be using we're using the N word or whatever, but we want to stay true to it. You want us to pay attention to you guys for the silliest of things, but y'all can't pay attention to us when we want to stay alive. That shit, like, it burns me. Like, I said at first I was excited to really get into the story, but then I started getting mad because my temper is just like,
right. It's like, why do you have to ruin everything? Why does everybody have to ruin everything?
Do you see what the fuck is going on out here today? Like, you really wrote this. Like, you really wrote this and said this is paranoid and unnecessary in a time where people, like cops, were just like straight up OD, and people, they were outwardly racist back then. I mean, people are still outwardly racist now, but
they even have to try to pretend because there was no social standard saying, well, you shouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
Even though they can get away with it no matter what, there wasn't even that standard. So they were just out there. It was the American way to be racist.
Yeah. And, it was just very openly separate. So, like, why would we not need that now? Do you still not see these cops out here, like, killing unarmed people? Do you not see the Klan is at very high numbers right now? Do you not see the presidential election where there are people on camera calling black people niggas and telling Mexicans they need to move here and there and everywhere except America? Do you not see and hear that on the internet? You must not be on the internet. You must be new here because we needed this. We're still being called boy, we're still being called nigger, and all these other these other horrendous names that they come up with, but God forbid we call them cracker,
right,
or whitey,
the end of the world.
They foam at the mouth and they want everybody to pay attention to them. Nah, fuck you.
Pretty much.
You. I want the warning. There's nothing wrong with the warning. That one part right there, whatever else you gotta fucking say about this game, I don't care because you're a jackass.
Right. All jackass. Credibility gone.
Yeah. You're self-absorbed as fuck. Like, you have written in your article that you do not know what the fuck it's like, but yet you want to tell me how to feel, or you want to tell people, oh, well, I feel like black people didn't need this, or another person of color didn't
It's
need
the
this.
whole white cockiness where they're reassured that they are rational and reasonable, like by default. So anything that comes up in their head must be right because I came up with it. I'm a rational white guy. So you talk about a subject that you know absolutely nothing about, and rest assured, because you're white, you and your little crew will be, certain that, oh, well, I'm sure you're right. I don't know anything about it, but I'm sure you're right. Like, this blows my mind how people actually do that. And I'm like, you, how are you the most rational person when you come from a line of people who are scared of us because of our color? Not even scared, because they weren't. They were just hateful. But, like, really?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, okay, buddy. Like I said at the beginning, who?
Right.
Because this guy's clearly not important.
Yeah. Well,
never heard of you. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, so he's not famous. He's obviously I didn't even know who the fuck he is until this article, until someone I knew shared the article. But apparently he's known for writing very white guy type bullshit, and I guess that's his thing. But you're a real piece of shit. And to be honest, you know what? The game doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. And I know that sometimes when there are people of color involved, even in an imaginary sense, people tend to hold it to a higher standard. Like, you can barely make mistakes.
Right.
For it. I kind of feel, again, like in the beginning, and all throughout the article, he had an axe to grind because he was nitpicking the shit out of this game. I think that I think he really truly wanted to discourage people from buying this game because he had a problem with the race issue.
Because I read the article, and a lot of what he said was just like, one, it wasn't, it was just like a waste. It was he said a lot of nothing. And I was like, was all this really necessary? Like,
right. I was like, okay, so I'm concerned about like the game controls and shit like that. And he was like, oh, some parts of the story is like very linear, which I can kind of see with games like this. Like, for me, Grand Theft Auto is pretty linear in a sense. But, he spent a lot of time trying to point that out. Not saying that he did the whole article, but that was
right.
That part really, really stuck out. But keep Mafia 3 out your racist fucking mouth, because that's what it is. I think that you are a little bit too self-aware, and you want to feel like you are the king of decisions for what should and should not happen. That's not something that you get to do. You don't get to tell us what we need and we don't need.
But I'm white.
Yeah, because you're not black. I'm going to move on from this because it's pissing me off. But did we have any announcements? I don't think I put...
No, I didn't put any announcements. There's nothing really happening. I mean, we've talked about most of the things that are happening, and other things that would be announcements, like the whole Overwatch thing is more or less a leak now. So I would say our announcements were stolen from us by the internet people. Yeah, the internet people.
Well, I don't have honestly. Usually we do the whole like game releases for this week. But I don't have that. I quite honestly forgot, you guys. But next week, I'm gonna have something for you. I'm thinking about possibly picking up Mafia 3 this weekend, and if I do, I'll have kind of like a mini review next week on the show.
That would be cool.
That's. Go ahead. Are you there? Oh, I think our Skype is cutting out because I'm like talking to you and I'm just like, oh, are you there? But then you like kind of cut out and I don't know if you're talking.
Oh, yeah, I was here. I don't know what happened. Skype hates us. Okay. But anyway.
But yeah. All right. Go ahead and give the people your info, Chris.
Crystal Killjoy is where you will find me on internet things, Twitter, Steam. Is it Steam? I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to check. Twitter, Steam, a Tumblr that I don't use and don't remember login for, and on Twitch. Definitely on Twitch, which I do have to get back into. I gotta decide what I want to play. such a tough decision, you know. I feel like we're plagued with information or choice overload. Choice overload, definitely. But yes, Crystal Killjoy everywhere. And for you,
I am the Grim Phreaker everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, um, Twitch. That's another thing. Again, I was gonna say that I need to get up on that because one, it's hard to stream because you got to be in like the freaking mood to stream.
yep.
Two, I don't know. I guess maybe because it depends on like how many followers you have. Like it feels like you don't really have a chance, especially with like a lot of the big ones, a lot of the big stream things. I think that's kind of why I keep away from streaming because I'm just like nobody's here. Like, or you'll see that there's two, and then you see the number go up and down.
Hey,
But
we all got to start somewhere.
we all have to start somewhere. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I am the Grim Phreaker, and that is.
The end of the show.
Bye, you guys.
Later.